Minister Stephen Byers has referred himself to the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner over claims that he changed government policy by lobbying for businesses he was representing. He says all he did was exaggerate his own importance. Gordon Brown says he believes there's no reason for a further government investigation into the departments which Mr Byers is alleged to have tried to influence. Colette Macbeth reports from Westminster.
Good morning. No hidden cameras today, but this time former Health Secretary Patricia Hewitt and Jeff Hoon, a one-time Defence Secretary, had little to say. Both have already insisted they've done nothing wrong. So too has Stephen Byers. He was filmed claiming to have struck a deal with the Transport Secretary to free National Express from a franchise without incurring a huge penalty.
We agreed with Andrew. He would publicly be very critical of National Express and talk about, I'm going to strip you of the franchise, and be very gung-ho.
Yeah.
And we said we will live with that and we won't challenge you in the court, provided you then let us out.
He also said that he'd influenced government policy on food labelling on behalf of Tesco. Both claims were later retracted, denied by the companies involved and both the business and transport secretaries. Nevertheless, this morning, Mr Byers referred himself to the Standards Commissioner John Lyon to investigate. In a statement, he said, "I am confident that he will confirm that I have complied with the MP's code of conduct and have fully disclosed my outside interests."
We're talking about money and politicians. It is bringing shame on Westminster, and I think it is discrediting politics in the eyes of the public.
Now, we have written to Gus O'Donnell, the Permanent Secretary at Number 10, to get him to investigate, looking at all of the departments mentioned, to see what happened. It's a question of government integrity. It cannot be left as it is.
What this affair has done is shine a light on the often secretive world of lobbying. It's popular work for many MPs, and if done within the rules, it's perfectly legal. But there's no doubt that seeing ex-ministers talk about hard cash in return for services reflects badly, and it's led to a clamour for tougher regulation. All parties now say they want to police the lobbying industry with more vigour, conscious that the combination of money and politics can often be toxic. Colette Macbeth, BBC News, Westminster.
Well, our political correspondent Laura Kuensberg's in Westminster for us now. So what next then, Laura?
Well, Kate, David Cameron's not going to get the inquiry that he wants. Government said quite clearly this morning, as far as they're concerned, the two departments that were involved in these undercover allegations that were made, the Department for Business and the Department for Transport, have both been completely clear and said there was no hint of impropriety and therefore there is nothing to investigate. The Conservatives, though, well, they're not convinced by that. They're saying it's outrageous that an investigation has been ruled out before the programme containing the allegations has even been on television, and they're saying it's suggesting that there's a cover-up at the heart of government. But this doesn't get closed down just because there's not going to be a government inquiry. The Parliamentary Commissioner, the sleaze watchdog if you like round here, has received a request from Stephen Byers, who wants himself to be investigated, and I'd be very surprised if that inquiry does not go ahead. And Harriet Harman, the Deputy Leader of the Labour Party, is having to make a statement this afternoon to MPs in the House of Commons. There's also a question being asked in the House of Lords. Both of those opportunities this afternoon here in Parliament for the opposition parties to have a go at the government about this and to keep pressing for more answers about just exactly what this whole mess was about.
Thanks, Laura. It's the third day of the strike by British Airways cabin crew and thousands more passengers